Hello, hello, beautiful stars. Hello, hello. So it is Thursday, June 19th, 2025. The reason I am live right now is because there's a lot going on inside of my house and with different jobs that I have going on. So I'm not going to be here on my normal times. So I decided to jump on, see what people are doing, and just hang out and have a good time. I see that Chloe came in. Good to see you, my dear. And actually, I did not know even what to start babbling about, to tell you the truth. I just was going to come and hang out and show up. That's all we got to do is show up, right? Um, Sept- Centurion's son actually kind of gave me a cool thing to talk about real quick. He made a comment on the last Gabriel message that came out today. Guys, I'm not a medium. I've never once said I was a medium. I've never said that. Trust me, I've never said that. Cuz it was a respectful comment. It wasn't anything disrespectful. He said actually he started it with respectfully, most so-called mediums have not, healed their demons or what have you, or not released their demons yet. And so that's pretty much who they're talking to. Um, and he's like, I'm hoping that people he said, I'm paraphrasing, folks, that he hopes more people understand that we don't need a medium to give messages to us. I fully agree. He talked about how we're all divine beings ourselves, and I'm right on. Yes, go out there and spread that message, please, please. Um, in regards to, I've never once referred to myself as a medium. I know what I am. I know what I am, and certain students and patrons of Stars of the Morning Light, they definitely know who I am. Um, I see the angels in me as one and the same. And so, but I know here on this whole grand scheme of things, people would like to hear from Gabriel. And actually, Gabriel wants me to talk all the damn time for him, right? I had that job once long ago. Long, oh, um, not this past cycle, but the cycle before. I was trying to do the same damn thing. Didn't work. So Gabriel would love for me to give out more messages, but he's on my clock. I'm not on his. So, oh, thank you, Chloe. Thank you. Chloe said she likes my top. Thank you. Um, and I don't mean that to be rude, but I do. I agree with Centurion Sun, as in, I think a lot of people out there that are, as he said, so-called mediums, I think they are talking to either personal demons or attachments, and or definitely the astral plane. Though the beings from the astral. And the astral is the hell plane. It's the dream world. It wants to trap you. And unfortunately, the majority, I would say, out there communicating, sending messages, what have you, that is what they're referring to people of those. So, oh, here's a cool little tidbit, as hopefully people come in the chat. And Chloe, if you got any questions, go ahead and ask, because I don't really know what I'm going to babble about. Here's a little tidbit. If you start working with pyramids, okay, a lot of the patrons at Stars of the Morning Light have learned a lot about pyramids. So if you think you're a channeler, which that's fine. If you think you have that gift, or you think you're talking to a being, right? You can always put a pyramid over you, your house, what have you, your apartment, what have you, right? Because nothing negative can enter or be inside of a pyramid. So let's say, I don't know, I'm not in the best way, shape, or form, or I don't know, the astral, like 2 weeks ago, the astral was trying, oh, y'all, this is part of the reason why we're having the problem. There's been a lot going on. But the astral was really active, extremely active, trying to infiltrate into my comings and goings and doings. And so use a pyramid. So let's say I call Gabriel because I'm like, dude, you want me to do this? Okay, let's go. I got like 20 minutes. And let's say Gabriel comes and I'm talking, but before, if I'm like, let's just double check. Let's just double check who I'm talking to. Which also, this is a little bit of a lesson. You can ask if you ask a being 3 times to confirm who they are, by the 3rd time they'll show you their true colors, because you're standing in your authority, right? So I do teach all this stuff, so I'm giving out a little bit of tidbits, I guess. You ask them 3 times, and if you are talking to a demon or an astral being that wants to seek to trick you and do you harm, um, ask them 3 times who they are, right? Um, the first time they'll tell you point blank because they can lie. They'll tell you point blank that they're this celestial great being. And it's like, okay. And you got to also know what you internally understand about your own energy and the energies around you and all energies, period, because everything is energy. But they'll lie the first time. The second time, because you're standing in your authority, right? The second time you ask them, tell me who you are. Who are you? They'll still lie, but they might kind of do like a little bit of a, why do you keep asking me? Right? They'll bite back a little bit, right? They'll be just like how a human would be. And then you do it again. That 3rd time, because it's part of the law of 3, by the way. Same as we have our laws here, right? If you get stopped by a police officer and they ask for your ID, you got to give them your ID. Sorry, I hate saying it, but I used to be a case manager. It is a part of the law. Sucks. It is what it is. But flip it as if you're standing in your authority within the spiritual realms of beings, and you can ask that 3 times, who are you? And by the 3rd time, because they are noticing that you are standing in your authority and they're not going to be able to trick you, by the 3rd time they might still try to lie, but it will be very clear that's not who you're talking to. So adios, right? You just shoo them away. You get rid of them. Don't be afraid. You're in your authority. And if you don't want to do that because you're just lazy, because you're just being lazy, use a pyramid. Put them inside of a pyramid, and if they can sustain and be inside of a pyramid, then they are most likely who you're supposed to be talking to. If they are bounced out of the pyramid, shot out of the pyramid, or they're agitated inside of a pyramid, that's not the celestial beautiful being that you're trying to talk to. Not one of the good guys. So there you go. Get rid of them. So that's a little advice. I am not a medium though. Never once said I was a medium. Never referred to myself as a medium. I don't even like I don't like saying readings either. I don't like saying the word readings. It's I don't mind. Okay, so if I do tarot readings, then I don't mind that, because if I'm working with my decks, I am gonna do an entire story. It's like I am reading a story. I read very different than other readers. I don't use all that jazz of how you're first trained with, the crosses and the months and the blah, 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 and astrology and all that jazz. I read the story that's presented. And then the outcome of that story, and then what's on the back end of that story, and then things that can get you through the story. So I see everything as a story. So that I will refer to as I'm doing a tarot reading. But if I'm doing like an Akashic Records, I don't like saying reading. I just really don't. It's not the right word for it. So, well, geez, Chloe, I guess it's just you and me. Nobody's hanging out with us tonight. So Chloe, do you have a question, my dear? Chloe's probably doing a whole bunch of greatness where she's at, down in Texas, getting her crystals going. So that was a little bit of fun info if you need to know. Use your pyramids all the time, guys. Oh, Chloe does. She said, how crazy. Yes, I do. Shoot for it, Miss Chloe. This is what tonight's for. Anybody can ask me anything. Go for it. You gotta put it in the chat, though, of course. Oh, crap. Chloe's question, for those who are not seeing the chat right now, is Chloe says, I have a friend that's been going into the astral during their sleep, but there is a maze and can't escape. Any advice for them? Oh, yeah, I got plenty of advice for your friend. So your friend, they're going in their sleep. They might actually be a dream worker. So tell them that they need to seek healthy, good guidance from other dream workers that do not do work in the astral plane. Dream work is actually some are gifted in it and some are not. I am not actually gifted in dream work. My husband's gifted in dream work. Dream work can be, and so I'm paraphrasing that, and then I'm going to move into your question, Chloe. So your friend might be gifted, by the way. And then I'll talk about the astral plane, and then I'll answer that question. So dream work can be anything from you help jump into other people's dreams to like get them out of nightmares or to help them communicate through something. Um, of course, as we know of like you jump into past, present, future, knowing of things that are going on. Maybe you're shifting through the timelines and setting right what once went wrong, right? Dream work is actually a very good gift. I am not gifted in that. So, and Jacob just came in. He's really good at dream work. So, those who, when you fall asleep, you end up going to the astral plane. I know many people that if they're stretching really good and doing their breaths, they end up kind of transporting themselves unknowingly. A lot of people do it in their sleep. A lot of people do it as they're about to fall asleep. Um, that you'll sense like this kind of weird, like a voom voom, kind of like you're in and out, like you're in your mind space as you're just about to fall asleep. It's like you see an image and you zoom in and then you're zooming back and then you're zooming in and zooming back. You're really headed into the astral. Okay. So wake yourself back up. Wake yourself back up. So one of the things your friend can do, because I'll talk about that maze here in a minute. One of those things that your friend can do is learn how to control himself in his sleep, which takes controlling before you fall asleep. Like there might be a part of their night routines that they really need to focus on to put them in a better place, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. They also need to most likely tell their subconscious, because these are our bodies, these are our minds, these are our subconscious. We talk to all of it, right? It's ours. We stand in our authority. So tell them to speak to their mind and subconscious and say, hey, I'm not traveling to the astral. It's your subconscious, it's your mind, right? Unless something is coming and pulling you out, which can also happen like they just come and get you. But I don't think that's what's happening. I think your friend is probably gifted in dream work and is unfortunately traveling there, but they're aware of it. And they're aware of it because it's crazy ass maze. I can almost guarantee. Crazy maze that they can't get out of. They can't escape. So when they become like conscious that, oh my goodness, I'm here again, I'm in the maze, that means that they have slipped into they're still in the astral, but they're in the what do you call that state? Lucid dreaming. They're in a lucid dreaming state. meaning that they're conscious that they're sleeping and they're conscious of the fact that they are in the astral. So if they have enough consciousness to be aware of that, pull from that part of your consciousness and demand to start breaking the walls of the maze down, or demand to wake up now, or demand to return to your if I ever travel in any way, shape, or form, I always hand to heart and say, I usually say my name, but I'll say, my full conscious awareness returns to this body of form, right? So even in our sleep, when we become aware that we are in a maze we can't get out, well, then you have enough awareness to get yourself out. You really do. That could be a metaphor for life and this 3D existence that everyone seems to choose. Um, right? When you have the awareness in your sleep, you're lucid dreaming, you can get yourself out. And use that trick too, as in you might think that you got yourself out of the maze, but you're still in the astral. You're still dreaming. So start asking those beings that are like, creating a new image that you think you got out of there. You're just still asleep. You're in a new dream and you're fine because it's, lovely and all copacetic. Ah, because you have the awareness that you were just in a maze, then you ask those beings, who are you? You can do all sorts of stuff. We are very, very mighty. We are very, very mighty, the humans, all the beautiful humans. There is no difference between us and them, except hopefully the human existence has had you grow a heart. You all grew a beautiful heart. So, Miss Chloe, does that help? As in, um, they can take control of it. They can take control of it. Okay, so Chloe just said, um, so Chloe, let me know if that did help. Um, Chloe just said last time her friend said all of them spoke Chinese. Well, if you're dreaming in Chinese, that means you can speak Chinese. That might be that they're also doing past life work as well. But if it is the astral friend that's saying that, um, they may be speaking in Chinese or they may be speaking in just a different language. That does not mean you cannot communicate with them. You can communicate with them. Either you speak the same language or it doesn't matter. They speak yours. It is all about taking your power, right? Using the power that you do have. We are divine beings, as Santerian's son said, as I say. So use it. You are way vastly more powerful, bright, beautiful, loving, great being than what is being presented in the astral. But unfortunate, so many people think that it's fun. It's fun and it lies. Like Santerian's son was talking about. It lies constantly. The astral lies, demons lie, all the things lie. So learn to stand in who you are, right? Learn to stand that you are a divine being. So Chloe also said somewhere in the midst that um Chloe said, I've had a lot of times where people call me out and I somehow go into their dreams with them. Yes. Oh, Jacob's talking about how I have a small ritual I do when doing the work and then I write it out sometimes when he's doing his dream work. Yes. If you create a healthy ritual of some sort, routine, right? Some kind of, at least you're talking to your consciousness and your subconsciousness, which hopefully soon everybody's conscious and subconscious are not going to be two divided planes. It will all be one. Come on, guys. It ain't that hard. Get into your subconscious, be with your subconscious, do meditate. So, for those though who are still thinking they are two separate things. Speak to your subconscious and tell it, hey, I just want to sleep tonight. I need to get some sleep. Why am I working harder in my sleep? Right? Tell it, I'm not going to the astral plane. I do not give you the authority to send me to the astral plane. Yeah, you can do it with everything. You can. So tonight, beloveds, I see Lori came in. I am Infinity 13. What up, girl? That's my girl. Um, Lori came in. I'm just hanging out, y'all. So if you got questions, I just went on and on with Chloe's. So I do hope that helped Miss Chloe. Oh, she said, sure, right. Sure, right. Yeah, Jacob said he's gone into his friends' dreams and helped them. Um, Actually, long years and years and many a years ago, um, we found out that Brad's actually real gifted in dream work, and there was this pocket of time that I was having nightmares, and like I said, I'm not a dream person. It's not my. I do dream, and I take them and I leave them. I'm not that person, right? Um, but I was having like nightmares over and over again. So I told Brad, I said, you need to come and get me out of these. So before we fell asleep, we voiced it to each other. I said, if I need you, I'm going to call for you. Are you in agreement that you will come to help me? And he said, yes. See, everything is based on agreements, permission, consent, standing in your authority, power. You are divine, but when you really want to do the work and really learn and be a part of things, that does still need to be there. That still needs to, I can't just call for Brad willy-nilly, right? There needs to be things. But oftentimes, the reason why I'm saying this is oftentimes people don't even know that there are other avenues to travel other than the astral, because they're always going to the astral first. I went to the astral first way long ago, and then I learned pretty darn fast what that was, right? And it's not just me that calls it the hell plane. Many natives and indigenous across this beautiful globe knew that for a very long time. So, and others that have studied. So, but the unfortunate part is people don't even tend to even acknowledge that they have gifts or that they have abilities to do things like that until the astral comes knocking. They don't know, right? So the more that we can educate people on how that is not the destination. That is not. And that is definitely not where we get our information. And we definitely need to understand that we need to double check, triple check all this stuff, and when in doubt, pyramids up. Like, that's I as the patrons of Stars of Morning Light would know, I am always safety first. Unfortunately, we can never get to, like, the actual training because I'm like, "Here's the safety manual to all this before, because there's so much horrible stuff out there." Right? So, um, that I do. I'm just bringing that up because Chloe, you could develop that gift. Jacob is still developing his. I mean, you can develop that gift, but do have it be that it's in communication with someone else and they call you like you're in agreement beforehand in your conscious mind. In your conscious mind, because you don't want it to be that a bunch of people are just starting to call you. This goes for everybody, and you're just traveling out there because that is it makes for very uncomfortable night's sleep, right? If you're just out there willy-nilly, not really knowing and doing and why, right? Or people are calling you to them. Um, have the game plan before you even go to sleep. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Safety first. Yeah, I know. That Chloe just said I don't even do it on purpose that I know of. Usually it's in a situation where I'm helping them battle entities or walking them out of what they call the under. Oh, wow, Miss Chloe. Um, do they know? If they don't even know that they're doing this, Miss Chloe, use pyramids, use all your awareness and know-how. Okay, so Chloe said she gave permission for her friend to call her. Yes, okay, good. Yes, permission has to be in place because there are things that will try to appear one way and or the other. Lori says she remembers her dreams. Okay, good. Chloe said she made that agreement last night. Excellent. Love it. I love when things are talked about, when things are discussed, when agreements are made. It's all that beautiful stuff. So if anybody does have a question, just ask. I'm scrolling through, folks. That's why I'm kind of trailing off with my words for a minute because I'm seeing if anybody did have a question. Yes, thank you. I am Infinity 13. Hit that like button. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, ma'am. All right. Okay. So no more questions coming through. Ask me anything, folks. Ask me anything. I don't mind. This is how I'm going to do it. So I will tell you last week, um, I also kind of did a rant like this a little bit. Maybe that's what I'm just doing right now. I also had a gummy tonight too. It's summertime, folks. Summertime, summertime. It's fine. Um, because that's not my normal. It's not my normal at all. I think I've had like two gummies since summer started. Ooh, which is actually tomorrow. Happy summer. Happy summer solstice. Yay. Um Last week I did this and I had to do it tonight because of my schedule being all mixed up. But I was also wanting to throw it out there, literally ask me anything. I was with my teacher um last Tuesday night. Tuesday night's class, okay? So my teacher and all the other students, what have you, it is a small group. It's not this is not a big, you know, network. Um So she though asked, she said, you guys tell me, do you think the world is ready to know stuff? She was like, I really would. I value your opinion. Oh my goodness. So then I'm talking and we talk one by one to, so nobody's stepping over each other. And I said, Kira, I said, I don't know what to tell you about that. I said, I put it out there maybe a week ago. So this was about 2 weeks ago now. I asked the same question. Is the world ready to know all sorts of stuff? All sorts of stuff. Any and all the stuff. Any and all the stuff. Is the world actually ready to know? I got mixed reviews. I literally got 50-50. I put it on Patreon, I put it here on YouTube, and even if you take both platforms and put it together, it's still 50-50. So 50% of you say, go for it, tell the world everything. And 50% of you are like, no, they're not ready. So then I couldn't even, my own teacher's asking the same question. So I don't know what to do with that. So guess what, folks? You ask me a question. How about that? How about we do it that way? How about if that works? Lori just said, "We like it, court gummy bears." Aw. Okay, Chloe said yes and no. See, I think the answer to that question came out such 50-50 because I think everybody's response is really, well, yes and no, Courtney. Yes and no, and there were some really good responses too. Lucky Stone 888 gave an awesome response, because he said basically yes and no. Um, I will be with Lucky Saturday night on his channel. We're gonna be talking affirmations and prayers and mantras and all that good, peaceful, good stuff. And then, folks, Saturday night, right after Lucky and I are live at 10 o'clock, I will be on Milky Way Soul Tribe talking about Manly P. Hall. So that's my Saturday night between 8 o'clock with Lucky and I at Lucky Stone 888, and then 10 o'clock with Milky Way Soul Tribe. So it'll be fun. It's a good Saturday night to have, right? Um, oh, see, I Infinity 13 said she doesn't think that people are ready. I don't know if it would, I don't, see, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I can't even answer my own question. I can't even answer my own question as in I I I literally when I ask myself, are people ready? I can't even come to the yes and no. No, yes. I can't even get like there is some complete I there's no response. There's literally no response. I start saying words of to try to think of something and absolutely nothing's there. Absolutely nothing is there as to do I think people are ready or not ready? Uh, I have 0 answer. 0. That's why I'm asking, and I have no shame in asking help from others. I really don't know. I really don't know. I have no answer. I would say I would like to try to say that no, I have no answer. I have 0 answers. Oh my gosh, I can't even like to say something. I have 0 response to my own question. So I do understand how difficult it might have been to answer it. Oh, okay, Jacob, and I Infinity is saying that she's been having some crazy off the charts dreams. Okay, girl. Well, that's the time. That's the time we're living in. Well, I'm gonna be having crazy dreams, and I don't even do all that. Jacob is saying, um, that conversations really need to start in small groups of gaining more awareness and of all the stuff, right? All the stuff that are humans ready to know. Okay, Jacob, I hear you, man. I hear you. Um, oh, Jacob's got a good point, man. He's talking about the AI spread and stuff. Hmm. I have, though, witnessed and heard some really good AI stuff. Like, really good to the point of, do people just need to listen to that and they'll finally understand? Because I don't know the words that people need. Shit, maybe that should have been my question. I don't know the words that people need. I know that people need um, encouragement, definitely. Um, I know they need inspiration, encouragement, and whatnot. But as far as the words to gain the awareness, maybe that's my question that I'm searching the answer. What words work? So, I think that gummy that was actually a little bit extra than I never have, um, has just kicked in. And I'm hanging out with all of you, so how fun. AI, though, I've heard some really good stuff to the point that I was like, "Damn, that explained it all." Just listen to that, folks. I don't even need to be talking. Just listen to that. Like, cool. It probably explained it better to me than me. And then I even had to kind of wrestle with that. I'm not gonna lie, of cool, is my job done? AI, do my job. Just because I don't care how people get it. I don't care how it gets there. I just care that it gets there. So I've had these thoughts, and this was maybe three months ago or so. Of well, then what's the? Can I move on and do something else? You know what I mean? What do I do? Um, and no, it's more. I came to understand that the reason people might not get it from AI though is because of the human interaction, the human tenderness, the human vulnerability, the human realness, right, of delivering the words. But I don't know if people actually need that anymore. I don't know. So, but on the note that Jacob was saying, there is a lot of AI stuff that, y'all, it's okay. So I'm going to be real with you. I have been witnessing and having conversations over, I want to say maybe over a week or so now. Um, and these, what I'm hearing from watching things or seeing things, and or I'm in communication one on one with people, is social media has one of the most biggest influences ever. I did not know that. I did not know that until this past week, because apparently I have now heard, well, I'm going to say a 4.5 because there were two that it's like, I think you're saying this, but you don't want to say it. I've heard multiple people now say that social media, the reason that they're saying this must be a dividing, it must be divided, is because social media is telling them you have to choose a side in the world. And I'm talking about the States because this is where I live. Um, that social media and the media are telling people you have to choose a side. I did not know that social media had that kind of influence. This was but dear loved ones that I had no idea they were being influenced. And then just everybody, just all what's funny is that June is the month of unity. It always has been. June is the month of unity. It always has been. So this beautiful day, this beautiful month, I guess social media has it to the point of an influence to strip that of what it is, right? So I don't know about AI because is AI even the media, right? Like I don't know if I even understand what AI is, to tell you the truth. Because the computer I'm talking to you right now, it's a form of AI to me, right? AI is even lesser than what can truly be, right? Form out of the formless, creation in your hand. But it's, so I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know about any of that crazy shit out there in AI, social media, any of that. And blessed be, I'm on here right now with you all because of it. But I didn't know. I did not know. So Lucky's in the house. Good evening, sir. Lucky said something about timelines up here. He said there are multiple timelines overlapped. Who the timelines? So which timeline some say, some or so which timeline some yes, some maybe, others absolutely not. Those with eyes to see and ears to hear. Okay, back to the answer of my question. Excellent. Yeah. What a wonderful answer from Lucky Stone 888. Everybody go subscribe to him. Um, what a beautiful answer to that. Yes, especially right now. Especially right now. The timeline thing. Guys, all of your everything's open. It is I mean, everything is open. This is also why, like, just I said at the beginning when we're talking about the astral, like a few weeks ago, it was like, woo, everything opened and they were trying to get in there first, hardcore. Same with galactic stuff. And as above, so below. We see what happens, folks. It's going to keep boomeranging. So until we change, right? We change. We don't choose to um, participate. Hence, the timelines are open. Y'all, if you don't want to live in this timeline, just jump to another timeline. It's open right now, right? But I want to put something out there to make things very clear. It's not like all the other timelines are better than this one. Not at all. They're just different. I'm not ever going to say that other timelines are better or worse. They got their own complexities, their own form of operation. Let's say they have all their own things. Um, but at the same time, you want to create a new one? Do you want to just create a new one? That's open to you. Everything is open. Everything. So, all the timelines are overlapping, they're converging, people are jumping nonstop. This is why dreams are actually getting more crazy, jumping around, feeling it out, picking and choosing, wanting to know which way to go because everything's open. If you chose right now, you could jump right off this game board. You might jump onto another, though. That's all I'm saying. Then work out that one. Whatever. Do your thing. Or if you want to design your complete new timeline that's never been seen before, never been done before, never been witnessed, never been imagined, never been created, the energy to do so is open. I think I just yelled at all of you. I'm sorry. So sorry. I didn't mean to be so see why it's hard? It is all open though, folks. Just believe. Just believe. Just believe in yourself. See, Jacob agrees with me. I got it is with like 3 or 4 exclamation marks. Yes, thank you. Yes, and I see Kim came in. Kim, this is just a nice, beautiful hangout session. I've just been babbling and talking and having fun. And it's Q&A. Ask me whatever you want. You can ask me anything about me, about the world, about life, whatever. Um, that's what we're doing, darling. Lucky just quoted Rush. Lucky, are you a Rush fan? I bet you Lucky is a Rush fan. Oh my God, I can totally see him as a Rush fan. Um, so he quoted Rush, and Rush that is actually a great quote, and everybody would probably know it as um, if you choose not to decide, you've still made a choice. I will choose free will. Yeah, it's great. So that is a good song. I hear that Rush, so I've never seen Rush live, b- but I've met many of Rush fans, right? I hear that Rush is one of those bands that if you go to see them live, then you get it. Then you actually become like a fan. So I did the same with I wanted nothing to do with like Dave Matthews because that's my pocket. Yeah. Um, I wanted nothing to do with that band, and then I was dragged along, to a concert. Oh, good live band, very good live. So then I got their live album. So I hear Rushes like that. There's a lot of good bands like that you gotta see them live. I've seen a ton of good bands in my life. Oh, okay, Lucky hangs out with the Rush fans, got it. Okay, cool, got it. Um, oh, Sean Paul is here, good to see you, my dear. We're just all hanging out and people are asking questions. I'm gonna scroll back up to see if anybody did. Okay, so Kim just said she needs to know how to protect her dreams. Hmm. Hmm. Miss Kim, I'm just looking back through the chat. Um, protect your dreams or protect yourself in your dreams? Because that's actually two different things. Sean Paul, any questions? It could be about me, it could be about the world, the galactic, all sort dreams, different abilities, skills, anything really. I'm just speaking tonight. So protect yourself or protect your dreams. So the majority of our dreams, truly, people, it is our subconscious doing one big massive like dump that it's where all the trash goes. But it is also where our trauma goes, our secrets go, all sorts of stuff go into our subconscious. So the majority of the time, our dreams are just dumping out all the subliminal messages we receive during the day, which I think it is now 2025. We must be up to 20, like 80,000 to 100, maybe even 200K subliminal messages going past our eyes ears every day, at least. I'd say probably about 200K. I'm trying to remember the last stat that I read, and then add on to that as far as the change of things. So sorry, that was a moment. So your subconscious is usually just taking all that subliminal message, all that intake, and just dumping it. It's just dumping it, and that's why we have weird dreams of you're going to the bathroom, and then you're at the movie theater, and then you're talking to your mom, and then you're at the playground. I mean, like, that's usually just because of the dump. But if you're working through some harder stuff, right, that's also in our subconscious, those can become like the nightmares. Sometimes it's best to either develop the skill of lucid dreaming, where then you take over the dream and rewrite the ending, right? Or it's best to just kind of let the dream do what it needs to do because dreams do pass and it's not happening right in the waking day. So sometimes we just need to allow the process to happen because our subconscious, it is our best cheerleader, our best assistant. It is working so hard on our behalf and especially in dreams, with dreams. So if that is what's going on, Miss Kim, kinda let the process unfold. But okay, so now I gotta go back up to, Kim said 'cause that I was giving her time to kinda put in there too as to what's going on. So people are having some nightmares. So, okay, people are having some nightmares. Let me get to Kim first, you folks. Beloveds, it's okay. Have compassion for yourself and others, because I'd be surprised if we weren't all having nightmares, right? It's okay. Okay, Kim said somewhere in here that they are asking me questions about structure. I said I came for the works. Huh. Okay. I'm losing something in this chat. Hold on. Okay, so Kim, I'm gonna say one more thing because I'm not really sure. Um, so if it's to protect your dreams, that's a that like don't go to the astral type thing. Protect your dreams as subconscious. Just do your job. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not doing anything. Just do your job, right? Um, then tell your subconscious that before you go to sleep. If it's to protect yourself, well, then I would look at it. Are you actually going to somewhere like the astral and you're unaware of it? If that is the case, then you do have to kind of use repetition to tell yourself before you go to sleep, I do not go to the astral. I do not go to the astral. I do not go to the astral. Because I had to start doing that by the time I was 9 years old. I do not go to the astral. I do not go to the astral. It works. Um, or if it's something like I was saying that like is difficult, kind of let the process happen. You have more control than you think. Unless something is like retrieving you, that's a different thing. You still stand in your authority because nothing can do something to you that you don't allow. That stand in your authority, right? Yeah, thank you, Sean Paul. Yeah, you do not play with all that stuff. No, it's bad. Yes, the astral does want to trap your mind. Yep. And if it can take your mind, then it can take your soul. Beloveds, your soul is your consciousness. It's so interesting when you read or listen to all the different lectures and different teachers that have always been from Western world and Eastern culture. They flow in and out of using the same term for the same thing, and that is consciousness, soul, consciousness, soul, consciousness, soul. Why do you think this happens? It's because it's the same thing. It's the same thing. And your subconscious is there. It's like the purifying system for your consciousness soul. So, it really truly is. So, yes, if something can trap your mind, hmm, then it can take your soul eventually. Eventually. Takes a while though. It really does take a while. Why do you think, guys, why do you think we've been doing this so many times? You are free. 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 Everything is open now. You are free. Everything is open. We've been doing it so many times though, because of that concept right there. 3D just has your mind trapped. You are free. Your soul is free. So claim your entire consciousness, right? You got this. You got this. Oh, I agree, Sean Paul. I agree. Yes, thank you. So Sean Paul Batiste, is that right? I'm hoping I'm seeing that right. Sean Paul Batiste uh, says that that's the only place where evil exists. They're talking about the astral plane. Yes, I am in full agreement. Full agreement. Um, yeah, evil, that is the evil. Like that's where it comes from. A wonderful channel, everybody, is um Mysterious Middle East. Mysterious Middle East. It is actually one of my favorite YouTube channels. Um, and so if you don't know them, there's plenty there to get caught up on. But they're one of their last episodes here um talked about exactly that. And their way of their spin on it, how they like to make their pretty little bows. I'm always putting something in nice little bow by the end of my, chats here. Um the way they do it is it's lovely. It is lovely. I see where they're coming from every single time, and they in the last episode were saying very much the same thing, Sean Paul, very much. And I see that Robert V came in. Good to see you, sir. So tonight, Robert, we're just hanging out for a while, and people are able to ask whatever questions they would like. Oh, yes, Sean Paul, I like that channel too. Yes. Did Seeker come through? Did she come in? Did I miss? Oh, Shelly, my dear, I'm sorry I missed you. Oh my goodness. I must have been out in dream world talking all about dreams. Okay, good to see you, my dear. All right, Shelly's here. Good, good, good. So, yeah, I'm just answering any questions, anything, or if you just want to hear me babble about whatever. Uh, I had somebody once tell me that I should stop saying that about myself, that I'm just babbling. No. I mean, I told him, "No, I'm not going to, because I knew immediately that I didn't want to not say it, because a lot of this stuff with people, a lot of these conversations we're having right now, they're very serious about it. They're very, very serious, and they're very, uh, I don't know, energy. All is energy, right? The conversations that we have here at Stars and Morning Light, I like to try to make them airy, light, positive inspiration, even if I'm talking about some, impactful things, right? Uh, so when I say I babble, is because I'm trying to make it, um, not emphasize that let's not take ourselves too seriously, right? Now, does that mean that I do not believe everything that I say? Oh, not at all. Not at all. I believe everything that I say, and I believe I would love for others to have ears to hear, eyes to see. That is what I believe, and that is what I know. Um, so I'm not saying, oh, I just babble. It's more to make things more lighthearted, because the material we cover at Stars Are More Light, I think it's pretty good material, folks. It's pretty good. I mean, you're definitely some advanced thinkers. You're advanced thinkers here at Stars of Morning Light, because you're all beautiful stars. So let's be still light about it. Yes, no matter where things are headed, what's happening, right? Because you can always choose your way out. I'm just checking out the chat, folks. So Robert, Seeker, if you have any questions, that's what we're doing. Kim. Okay, Kim, you're a different kind of dream worker, though. Okay. Um, Kim, I'm not going to share this whole thing because it's in the chat, so people, you can check that out later if you'd like. Because I'm just not going to share all of that right here. But Kim, you could be very gifted in. Well, I already know you got a great knower. Do y'all know that someone's intuition can be at such a high level that their knower is off the charts to psychic abilities? And beloved Kim, I am definite you got that going on. So that's also a part of your abilities. You're just uh, you're more susceptible to working fuller in dreams than maybe with some other different tools. Because dreams are tools. See, that's why everybody analyzes their dreams, because it's a tool. That's all it is. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, so Robert's got a question. Wow. Can I have a heavenly minute, Robert? Okay. So Robert asked, he says, question, tell us of King Solomon. Why was he so wise? And if he was, then why or did he share his knowledge? So probably like why or why not did he share his knowledge? Oh, so Robert wants to talk about King Solomon. Okay. Okay. And like he just said, that's a 2-hour show to explain that. Oh my goodness. All right, sir. Yeah, can I take a pause for just a moment? Okay. What am I doing? King Solomon. Okay. So, King Solomon of the Old Testament. And the question is, um, tell us of King Solomon. Why was he so wise? Why was he so wise? Oh my God, there's actually multiple stories about that. Do you guys know that? Oh shit, I'm not going to be able to replay all of them. I'm not going to be able to paraphrase all that. Here's the thing. They're not actually they're not like wrong stories. They're not contradictory stories. King Solomon's story, you're going to have to travel, you're going to have to read some of the Quran. You're going to have to read some other stories to get the full scope. So, with that being said, was he wise? Actually, he was. He was. Same as you all could be. Same as and this is I think this goes back to the very beginning of when I went live today, when I was talking about things that Centurion Sun was saying. That here's the thing, people question, where did the source of Solomon's knowledge come from? Now that is a debate that's why Lucky, I think, said that could be a 2-hour show, because I'm not going to be breaking that debate down right now. That's a lot. So, do know, was Solomon very wise? Yeah. Yes. Yes. There's tons of documentation, and also yes. But here's the thing, the source of it. The source of all of that. But it's not that King Solomon, even then, it's weird because then they're going to talk about like the ring of King Solomon, right? And that he then with this ring could control the head demon to have the demons build his temple and whatnot. It's That's why you have to go back to the source of the knowledge, because you could have built that temple without any demons. And that's the difference with, like, when you talk about like Chiram, right? um he came to help build, came to help design, and then he saw that the whole thing was surrounded by demons. So he was like, screw this, I'm leaving. And then the demons were like, dude, you know how to control us. Solomon told you, you know how to control us, but you're choosing to leave instead? No, give us all you got before you go. And then something intervened. Something intervened. Depending on your source, it could be absolute energy. That's more your hermetics. It could be the father. That is a few different categories. So something showed up and put them demons in their place and resurrected Chiram. Yes, they did. Yes, whoever did. And so Solomon, knowledge? Yeah, he's got knowledge. Where'd it come from? Where'd it come from? Hence, also, when we were talking about AI just recently, where is it coming from? So, I don't know if I even answered your question, Robert, but he said, oh, and then he asked, did he or did he not share it? Yes, he did. Yes, he did. I love you, Robert. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to come off rude there. Yes, he did. He did share it. It's us humans that are making it very complex. Very complex. Read his words. They are so mighty in their simplicity that, yes, he did share. So, I believe he shared. And then I believe there's a whole lot of other stuff that went on around and went on through. And as above, so below, as below, so above. I think there was a lot going on. A lot going on. And like how Lucky was bringing up timelines. Guys, the stuff that we have as far as research and what we've excavated and whatnot, all that stuff, do know some of our stories, some of our quote unquote history we know of, even land markers, right? These different temples or things that we dig up that maybe we shouldn't. Um, all that stuff. It's not just like one, multiple timelines moving. Um, Definitely shifts in history, right? It's kind of like think of an old movie reel. Okay. So the movie reel, if you guys remember what an old movie reel looks like, think of it as like you got you kind of your figure eight, right? That's an old movie reel. Okay. Your figure eight. Well, then things happen. Timeline shifts, right? As people talk about um things literally, in my opinion, just getting deleted. Never happened, right? These Imagine if somebody took that movie reel, sliced it, took some stuff out, and spliced it back together in different parts. This is how they used to do editing, right? So that's why there was always a million clips. So it's just editing. It's always been just editing. So think of that when you go to read any materials, to listen to any lectures or research or what have you. Um, when you're investigating within yourself, always do note that what we have available is not the entirety. And you really have to start putting dots together if you so choose. If you don't choose, then take what it is for what it is today, for what it is right now, for what it is that you're receiving. Because when we talk about if Solomon was wise, yes, he was. Please go back and read his stuff. The depth of wisdom in that simplicity. There's nothing new under the sun, man. There's nothing new under the sun. That is Solomon taught us that. But where did he get it from? Where did he get it from? So, he was wise. And now we can even create all anew, because it's not what's under the sun, it's what's through the sun, baby. Yes. We're going to all go into the sun and everything's going to be just fine. Yeah, so Robert did that. Oh, Robert put, I hope that means great to me. Robert put a great thumbs up. So I hope so, Robert, because yes, Lucky's right. To really have that conversation would, I think that's Lucky and I's goal one day. When Lucky and I's, our personal lives, he's got a family, dad, wife. I mean, he's got stuff going on, right? So do I. I've got stuff going on. I think if you stick with us, right? Subscribe now and you stick with us over time, you're going to see this more in-depth development for esoteric tea with Lucky and I. It's just we're still living life and doing great, and um So we're just doing what we can when we can, and we don't worry about which way it goes, right? So Lucky just said, a lot of the knowledge you need is already inside you. A lot of us choose not to listen because of our own self doubt. Oh, yeah. A doubt to me, Jean Paul was saying just a little bit ago that um we were talking here about how the astral is like the hell plane. It's like the only place where evil is, right? I have to maybe put, I don't know, a little footnote or maybe asterisk or addendum. Even I would write an entire addendum for this um, argument that self doubt. I think self doubt, if there is any evil that is the hardest to overcome, the hardest to battle within and so without, right? Is doubt. Is doubt. It's a form of judgment on self that terrorizes the world. I hate that thing. I'm not afraid to say it. I actually do. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. I don't say that word often because nothing deserves it, really, the word hate. Um, but self doubt and that form of self judgment, yeah, I can use the word hate for that. It's got to go. It's got to go. Mm. Yeah, Robert just said if time is all kind of jumbled like that, or we're missing parts, and they're out there, they attach themselves to other timelines. I mean, everything there is no separation. I mean, there is no separation. So, um, yeah, our timeline here, our idea of history here, oh, it's obnoxiously messed up. So many stories are messed up. Um, so many stories. I think I've already on here on YouTube at some point. I shared um, that the story of uh, the Tower of Babel and the end part of Eden, when supposedly the serpent tells Eve to eat from the fruit of the tree of good and evil or knowledge. See, depending on what story you read. Some will call that tree the tree of good and evil. Some stories will reference it as the tree of knowledge. Right? So, I call it the tree of knowledge, right? That's how I choose to want to receive that story. See, you're always making choices. So that the story of that and the story of the Tower of Babel are actually intertwined um in a much bigger much bigger story, right? So if we go back to like the movie reel, somebody at some point went, oh, you know what? We're gonna snip here right after she eats that apple, and now they're naked and everything's gone to hell, right? That's pretty much if I summed it up. And then we're gonna go to the Tower of Babel, which was complete chaos. And we're now going to mesh these all together and make a very big, beautiful story. That is one story. It's one big metaphor with those are your end caps, okay, of the entire theme. So, anyways, most people see them as two separate things. Very two separate things. They are actually from one the same story. So if this was like a movie reel, going in that infinity sign movie reel. Somebody like snipped right after they got naked and everything went to hell. And then, like, oh, we're going to make a lot of snippets. We're going to take out pretty much whole chunks of what really happened in between. And then we're going to just then stick it back together. And then we're just going to stick it back together. Yeah, there was a whole lot of stuff. And what's interesting on this beautiful earth of ours, when we do dig up a bunch of stuff, some of those locations, that all over this beautiful globe, some of those locations are not even attached to the stories that we have in this time of reference for us. Some of those locations come from a completely different time from a prior cycle, from a whole different ending and beginning. They're not even from anything that we should be referencing. They're from before the end of the last cycle. That's ah. Some stuff should just stay where it is, and some stuff it's really good. We need to know so more people can understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. That would be lovely, um, if that sort of thing were to happen. But I'm just saying we don't have all the stories, but we have mishmashed, like, take Play-Doh. Oh, Jesus. So let's talk about I'm gonna probably rant about Play-Doh and then say goodnight to everybody, unless another question does come in. Um, okay, take Play-Doh. Gosh. Okay. I'm sorry if I offend anyone here, but I am not a fan of Play-Doh. He was a douchebag. He's a flippin' douchebag. Oh my god, what a yuppity, snob. Yeah, yeah. Socrates was cool. He would have been like, in today's world, we could see like Plato as the college professor, but then Socrates is like the young man that's kind of like, I'm stoned sometimes, but I'm really into philosophy and I'm actually brilliant. I'm way more brilliant than you, but I also learned to not take life so seriously. So, damn, but you're going to get me killed? Thanks. Thanks, Plato. But I do understand this damn game board, so I'm going to let him take me. Like, Socrates. Anyways, that was my paraphrasing Plato and Socrates, by the way. So, take what like Plato says about Atlantis. We think that Plato is telling a story from, his hearsay from over life, like, storytellers telling the story down through the ages. And it just so happens to be Plato who writes it down, by the way. Hmm. He would he was also a thief. He also sorry, as in, plagiarism. Thanks, Plato. So he wrote all down what he knew of the tale of Atlantis, because that was so, so long ago, which it was. Here's the thing, because of how that story traveled, because of the time involved, it's kind of like the game telephone. Now, by the time it gets to Plato, lots of things have been made up, dropped, changed, all sorts of things. As in, they took an Atlantis from the previous cycle that there was still records of, and then the new Atlantis from another cycle, and then another Atlantis from another cycle, and the stories just all started melting together, and people spoke, and it went around, right? So I'm not saying there's not Atlantis. I'm saying that even when you read something like Plato, please understand that is a whole soup bowl of information about different Atlantises from different cycles. But some of the materials from then, and I did say materials, some of the bricks and buildings and all sorts of things from different Atlantises we can still find. We find them under the sea, we find them under the land. We will find a few of them. And then we're just going to debate about it and argue and still say we don't know anything and that self-doubt that people talk about, and we're just going to deny that we do know, because it actually makes it a whole lot easier. Yeah. So I'm not a fan of Plato. He really did, he was just arrogant. He really was. Ugh. So I'm not the biggest fan of Plato. And I'm also not the biggest fan that we use that. We use that as our like main source. That really drives me crazy. Because when you truly start reading between the lines of a lot of many things, they're all talking about the same place. Everybody's talking about the same place. So, what about tomorrow's solstice? Thank you. That's a good question. All right. Yes, tomorrow, which is why I was with you tonight. I will not be here on my normal Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern time show. I got stuff going on. It is summertime, so that's why I chose to be with you tonight. Sean Paul asked, "What about tomorrow's solstice?" Well, we welcome in the sun. We welcome in the sun. Um, we welcome that sun in as much as we can. The sun. But for everything and everyone, it is going to be, well, it depends on how you want to perceive things. That influence that I talked about earlier will be in full throttle, let's say. Um, the outside influences. And we that have eyes to see and ears to hear, we are going to be able to start really kind of filtering through. I mean, we'll be able to see all the different parts, which is good. We need that because remember, June is actually the month of unity. But unfortunately, right now, people can't even see all the different parts to this big collective story. We, though, will. The opportunity to witness that kind of aspect starts tomorrow of kind of seeing all the parts and then going, okay, I pull this in, I pull this and I pull this in, I pull this in. Every time we accept, every time we love, every time we choose love, every time we just pull it in and embrace, which we have that opportunity starting tomorrow. We actually then create the unity that June is supposed to be. And it is perfectly fine if that only happens within right now, because it starts with within. So invite the sun in first, the sun, the light. Invite the sun. However you want to hear that and take that. Invite the sun. And then hand to heart, and you will be able to witness all the little parts, compassion, all the little opportunities to practice compassion. Oh, because everything's an opportunity to practice that. So that starts tomorrow. That starts tomorrow. It's a good thing we get to start practicing now. Start practicing. That everything in life is an opportunity to practice compassion to self and others. And when we do that, and we're seeing all these little parts, think of having compassion for all the little parts. Full compassion and acceptance of all the little parts within you. That kind of energy shifts that can shift an entire stadium of people. Do you know that? Do you know that? That if there is one, I depending on the size of the stadium, I should say. Um, let's say a handful of people, 4 people in a stadium that are emanating love and compassion for every little part. That's even the sink in the bathroom. Every little part, right? Every little part. Let's say there's 4 people in an entire stadium of wild drunks and whatever, whoever, what's going on. Those 4 people can change that stadium. Yep. It does not take that many. It does not. But it's that self-doubt like he talks about. So when we get to see all the little parts and then take the opportunity to practice the compassion when we witness them, um, well, then we're automatically doing it. We're already practicing, and it will ripple out. That's what the summer solstice is for today. Let's say that. We're just going to leave that where that is. Yes, we are. Thank you, Miss Chloe. Chloe said, thank you, Court, which y'all can call me Court. Thank you, Court. Thank you, fam and friends. It's been fun and an interesting night. Thank you, Miss Chloe. And it's that 10:30 hour for me as well. So thank you all. I will be with Lucky Stone 888 this Saturday, June 21st. Hey, happy solstice, friend. I will be on Lucky Stone 888 live. We're talking about affirmations, prayers, mantras, having a good old time. And I will also be right after that at 10 p.m. Eastern Time on Milky Way Soul Tribe talking about Manly P. Hall. So that is my Saturday night, folks. I hope to see you all there. And thank you for coming, everybody, from Jackie, go back and listen, darling. From Chloe, who's been here. Thank you, my dear. Lucky, Seeker, Jacob, Lori, I Infinity 13, Robert, Jean Paul, Kim, all of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Blessed be to all of you. Choose you and keep on shining. Peace out, folks.